Talking chairs and computers. I'm here today with Cesar Millan. It's pet owners across America. You need help more than ever. Here is Cesar Millan. Better Human, Better Dog, National Geographic. We're going to talk about some of the episodes that I got to see, and these dogs are wow. How do you do it, man? How do you do it?
Well, I do practice what I teach, which is the silence is a very powerful, very powerful energy. When we go to church, when we are like trying to figure things out, we go in a deep sense of silence. I call it noble silence. I have this amount of calmness so I can assess and evaluate. Animals find that very trusting, right? So dog lovers don't use this energy or this vibration. Dog lovers use a lot of sound. They go, oh my, or they stop, no, hey, oh, hey, oh, right? So so that people use a lot of sound and a lot of frustration on animals. So when a dog is not having a good time, the best thing you can share is silence and calmness,
Mhm.
right? Because you're asking them, trust me, and so you can lead them. Then the confident energy, the energy of confidence, which is direction, protection, which is the energy we're looking for in our leaders, right? So right now is we're looking for our next leader, right? So what are we looking for? We're looking for somebody who's calm, confident, as well love, joy. So in the animal world, calm, confident is called leadership. In the animal world, love, joy is just called love, joy. It doesn't help you to lead. It helps you to nurture, right? And so it's very important for people to understand that animals are already programmed to behave certain way by the energy you give them, not by the words, by the energy you give them, right?
Speak,
And
Speaking of that, talk a little bit about the episode I saw on matching humans with dogs.
well, this is something I've done for a lot of my celebrity clients, right? Because they don't want to make a mistake. So they ask me, Cesar, pick the right dog for me because they don't know they will do it with the heart. It's like when a man fall in love with a woman and from the heart, and when we forget to do the other steps, and then we end up knowing, the spirit of the woman and the instinct of a woman, the mind of same thing with a dog. It's same thing with a dog. It's a relationship. Remember, you want to have a relationship based on trust, respect, love. So most people, when they pick up a dog, they pick up a dog because they feel sorry for whatever happened in the past, or the dog is cute, right? So when they make these choices, the dog most of the time is going to come back to the shelter. So I want to eliminate that by telling people how to choose a dog based on the energy. Meaning, I always going to choose a dog that is going to have lower energy than yours, right? Automatic. They're born like that. So I just know to look for that, right? And then of course I go see your family, the dynamic, and with your wife and your children and the energy in the house, and it's okay. This house needs a low level energy dog. This house needs a middle of the pack. Most houses don't need a front of the pack. Front of the pack dogs are the one for police work. So are the one for the farm work, right? Because they're front of the pack, right? So they need that. They need the activity. They need the conquering. They need the dominance. And the middle of the pack are happy-go-lucky dogs, and the back of the pack are very sensitive. So most households are benefit with middle and back. Obviously, when you have a dog in a shelter, they're there because they have some issues, right? So then I see the issues, and I teach people how to get rid of it. But most important is the energy that I choose for you.
You know
That's
what's
the secret
interesting?
right there.
What's interesting, Caesar, is I have coffee every morning, Starbucks, 5:30 a.m. And there's a friend of ours that brings his dog, Ilsa. And Ilsa's calmed down now, but Ilsa had a problem the same as the other dog had, is when they saw another dog, they were ready to attack and bite. Talk a little bit
That's
about
right.
that episode. I thought that was interesting.
Well, that's excitement, right? So when you don't control the alert of the dog is always going to be an alert because it's a predator, right? So that part of the dog is it has nothing to do with the breed. It has to do with the animal in them. So you have to control the predator, just like in a horse, you need to control the flight, right? So it's one is predator, the other one is prey. They both can hurt you. One can hurt you by fear, flight, and the other one can hurt you by fight, aggression. So in the dog world, when you don't control excitement, the dog start alerting you just by watching, and then they start scouting. And most people react when the dog is already moving forward. So then what happens is they pull back, and that only locks the brain in that intense state. So they actually do it the way police dogs are trained. So most people hold the leash and grab a dog like they do in a police work. And that's why they have this type of aggression. So I teach people, okay, let me show you how to prevent a dog from being alert. So that way the dog doesn't get excited to another level. Because if you don't do anything about it, the dog learns to believe that that's what you want. You want this, right? Because when the dog is quiet, people don't do anything, right? The dog is already telling you it's a dog coming in, and I'm getting really excited. But people start doing things when the dog is pulling or when the dog is barking. So that's another level of excitement. And the truth is, most people don't know how to use a leash, and they don't know how to stay calm. So that's when I come in.
Last dog I want you to talk about is the boxer dogs. I know a lot of people have dogs that's just like that, that'll go after all the items, not the people, but the items, whatever. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it will be easier to help a dog like Brunello when they go after objects, because I've done a lot of dogs that go after rollerblades or skateboards or bikes, right? Or scooters or whatever it is. I've done it many times. But this is the first case that I help a dog that has a neurological problem, meaning the wires are not connected. On top of that, the dog was blind and deaf. So, you need those senses in order for you to say, okay, I arrived to clarity. And so that was the challenge, right? And that's why throughout the episode, I get to, tear out, because I did felt at one point that I was not going to be able to do it, but I always pray. I'm a man of God. And so I'm always praying. And that moment when the dog finally got it, I see why you gave me this challenge, God. I see why, my faith was not as strong as it should be. And so, like I always tell people, sometimes you don't get the dog you want, you get the dog you need. And I needed a dog like Brunello, because from that point on, I've been in this, height of faith.
Man, I've been talking with Cesar Millan. Better Human, Better Dog. It's National Geographic's. I think it starts September the 2nd. Is that correct?
No, the 16th, August 16th.
August 16th, it actually starts. You got to watch it on National Geographic. It was a pleasure talking to you, but it was more fun watching you working with the dogs more than anything.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Cesar.
Bye.